Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn, and I am Shawn. So when you know it around here, when our sound meter just starts pegging out all the way full, that I have arrived in my desired and regal place behind the rocks and the minerals, surrounded by the rocks and minerals, and all that positive energy, including knowing all of you are going to be watching this in all. There's a great comment about keeping my ego in check here to Charles, the new guy. So might be good advice. Might be good advice. Okay, so we're going to continue with new, mixed, and sale items, which you should get excited about and be excited about. Love this weather, don't you? I tell you what, this is when, if you're walking even to your car, or walking to work, that you go out of your way to put your foot on Mother Nature, ground yourself with the earth. Other than that, what are we walking on? We're walking on asphalt, we're walking on concrete, we walk back into the house on carpet, and you never touch Mother Earth. She wants that. She needs that connection. And she needs to make sure that we're taking good care of her as well. So that's why, it was actually interesting. And like I said, if I ever just told you, I could go story after story about my experiences and other friends' experiences, including the mine, Imperial Topaz mine that my friend owns. And I actually even have a DVD of it. And some of you might have bought some stones or some crystals at the Bella Vista mine, meaning beautiful view in Portuguese, very similar to Spanish. And anyway, he was telling me that, we all have this image of mining in Brazil as this, like the garimpeiros, the gold miners, where they're just, ravaging the land and just taking what they want out of it and, not putting anything back in order. Not the case unless you're doing it illegally. Of course, you go the route because if you ever hit anything big, or, of course, word gets around, and the government, if you don't have all your ducks in a row, will just come take your mine from you. His restrictions, and I am familiar with a lot of the EPA different restrictions and the Mining Bureau and whatnot, and here in the United States, and they're strict. I actually looked into, when I lived in Denver, into what it takes to stake a claim. And it's actually quite easy on the Bureau of Land Management. It's if you're out west, there is plenty of land to still do the old stake your claim thing, and you just have to work it so much over certain periods of time, depending on where you're at. But that was always, I thought, pretty cool. So in Brazil, you have to put down bonds, in other words, money down for restoration. They have a regular person that comes out and checks. He had some very minor seepage into one of the creeks because the topaz down there, the crystals are found in, it's like completely eroded down to just a clay saprolite type of earth around it. So basically all you have to do is wash the dirt away and you extract the crystals. So there's a, and it's red clay. So there's a whole red clay issue, which of course here in Georgia we're real familiar with, that they have to work around because the slightest lack of silt fencing and whatnot can put that dirt and clay into the creek. And he had just a little bit, he said, and they came down on him hard. He had to shut down. He had to, put in all this other and dig out all this other fencing and whatnot. So, it's not, what it does to me is it adds legitimacy, it adds value, and it adds control to a market that isn't just going to be plundered by the illegal miners. Now, the gold mining, that's a whole nother ball game, because they are way up the Amazon River in areas that gets really difficult to pretty much do anything unless it's a major, like, military type of operation. It's amazing what they will take up the river to get the gold. But there's a lot of gold up there, and obviously it's well worth it. All right, so the neat thing, though, I actually have, it'd be neat, the DVD of the mine, and I still have a few of those imperial topazes from there. So maybe I'll part with a few here along the way. We'll have to see. All right, so we have our comments to go through and our trivia to do, and then a lot of things to get to. So let's get the party started. Here we go. So our two trivia questions that we asked, that we do every show, or most every show, at the end of the show, are as such. And then if we have multiple winners, we put them, let's say if there's 6 winners, we put, number 1 through 6 and assign the number to one of the winners, and then the numbers. Well, you could picture us drawing them out of a hat, but I usually sit here and say, Dave, pick a number between 1 and 6 or something. Of course, then the smarty, we have to go through this every time. We'll pick a number outside of that. I said, no, Dave, pick a number. So anyway, that's how we arrive at the winner. But, there's something magical about it because it seems to be very fair, just the show, the magic to the show. And it seems to, the trivia prize that is given usually suits the person best that wins it. That's the best way I could describe it. So, all right, let's go on. So the two questions were, question number 1, what element is present in dravite? Remember, that's a type of tourmaline, dravite, that separates it from being a shoral tourmaline. All right, so that was question number 1. Answer being magnesium. So dravite has the presence of magnesium, whereas there's a lot of different types of tourmaline, just like there is in the garnet family, with different chemical composition at the front end of the formula, and the tail end of the formula usually is a repeating molecule or series of elements that are very similar to each tourmaline. Second question was, I mentioned a member of the chlorite family associated with sphene specimens that I have shown. What is the name of the mineral? All right, so pretty much the only sphene specimens that I have shown that would have other minerals associated with them, because remember, I have shown the Madagascar sphenes, but they're usually just the beautiful greenish yellow crystals by themselves. So, but the ones from Pakistan have usually 3 to 4 often other minerals. They can be the calcite, they can be feldspar with them, and they can be clinochlor. Yep, clinochlor is what we were looking for. And if you look at the clinochlor, it almost looks like a type of mica that can form little rosettes or little kind of layered type looking crystals, but it's quite beautiful. Chlorite is a all-encompassing type, one of those family members that has a lot of members in the family and can look a lot different from one to the next. Now, remember at the end of, or at part of the show, the last show that you saw, which would have been only a couple days ago, well, less time, no, I guess 6 days, you guys saw it on Tuesday. Okay, anyway, remember that incredible, wonderful item that Mr. Anthony had sent me, the thunder egg geode that he had sawn open, and inside it was an image of a cat. We'll see if we can't get that out and show that again this week. And he wondered what the part that was the cat was made up of. And I remember getting in these big burlap sacks of this material when I worked at the rock shop in Sarasota, Florida, still one of the largest rock shops I've ever been in, and really wonderfully run. And I really got and learned so much and got so much experience there. I guess when I started working there, I was around 12, and that's where I ended up teaching cabochoning to retired people there, and they kind of took me under their wing and kind of liked, because you could tell they could relate to that age, had grandchildren or whatever at that age. But I learned so much there about other agates and jaspers that you don't run across much anymore. Like there's one that I tell Raven about, Pata de Gallo, and it has this just bizarre pattern in it, and I haven't seen any of that in a long, long time. So anyway, the material that I mentioned as flame agate is what it looked like on the inside, and that's what it does, the red flame agate, and not to be confused with fire agate, which is technically a Mexican opal. Flame agate, and what it basically is you have a quartz silica, and if you can picture moss agate, where you have that exact same green, mossy type growth, except being green, hence the name moss agate. Well, this is identical except red. So when I had mentioned hematite, that's what it most likely is. It's mostly probably a base of a chlorite being stained or having some iron content, making it red, because it's kind of in its form, and in the way it looks is very, very similar. But very also, I thought kind of unusual to be inside of that type of geode. So very cool. So those are the two questions and answers. Let's get to the comments now. So right out of the gate, we have from Mr. Harry. I'm gonna, you know I do, read it like y'all write it. Woo-wee! And only a Southerner can do that. Guys, this is just too much. I know why this happened, and I am just so blessed and thankful to the GSN team, and especially Elisa. Lovingly, Harry. I would say he must have received his free item that Miss Elisa wanted to give up her spot if she won, for it to go to Mr. Harry, since he was always so caring and loving in his approach to our little Rockhound family. So then the next one, he titles Trivia and Family Love from Mr. Harry. OMG, how cool is this day, everyone? As this show was released to air today, 10/17, remember, it was a day later, instead of yesterday, is a small miracle, because my loved ones, every one of you can hear this in real time, kind of. But Susan's first day and closely watched as it is, but it is Susan's first day and closely watched as it is infused when the infusion went off fairly well, approximately 3:30 p.m. She will be released to go home. And they caught her a couple of reactions she had right away and added some medication, and she is handling it well. I want all you to hear this. We have an amazing God who loves us, every one of us. So I say this as a suggestion. Seek him out, find him, and he will not make it hard to find him, and surrender. Hi, Professor Shawn and the lovely Raven and GSN crew, as well as all you lovelies in stone. Wow, what a week, and congrats to the new guy, Charles, in the pre-night specimen. How nice. P.S. I have a nasty cold and oxygen levels are kind of scary, but I have a plan. We shall see. Nice aqua crystal. This is still Harry, by the way, everyone. Wow, Dave, awesome camera work on the world tour of that huge Indian scolecite. Impressive. What? And Dave was impressive, or my wonderful scolecite specimen was impressive? Or maybe it was the host talking about the scolecite was impressive. LOL. On the Indian scolecite, I wrote down my guest price, $349, and that's no cheating. LOL. Trivia. Yay. Let's see. Element which makes dravite. Dravite is magnesium. A member of the chlorite family associated with phene is grease. He didn't know. Is green chlorite. He writes, I have no clue. You know what? That's what I like. I love honesty like that because then I know, no one's going back and looking. So you get an O for honesty. Well done. Well, Shawn, it's been another wonderful show. And as us B-52 fans say, she came from planet Claire. Love y'all, Harry. Miss Cindy says, hello, Rock family. I really enjoyed the show this week. Thanks for the well wishes for my husband's. I kid you not. If I could turn around and show you right now, I would show you. I even have a question mark right there. It says, so this is what Miss Cindy's been up to. Remember her husband had to have the surgery. Well, at least one of them did. Thanks for the well wishes for my husband's. Post-surgery, he bruised it and battered. Totally normal, but he is not a fan. Well, I guess not if you got two husbands. He told me yesterday I am no Florence Nightingale. That made me laugh. Yeah, but that's because husband number two's getting all the attention. That was very cute, Miss Cindy. Trivia. Magnesium and clinochlor, well done. Everyone have a great week. See you on Monday. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. And with her fave of the show is the Cavensite specimen. Well, I think someone bought that. Mr. Anthony says, hello all. I'm glad to hear about Harry receiving good news. Indeed. And welcome, Charles. Yeah, man, stick around. Go easy on the compliments, though, to our host. We're trying to keep his ego in check. Well, maybe just a little complimenting. Glad to see you received the cat, Shawn. I have its mirror image slice, so I have its twin, so to speak. Yeah, I love the Oregon material. This is old material from Richardson Rock Ranch. I got many years ago a large wooden box of it and of the Thunder Eggs. I now have 5 left that are uncut. The cat was number 6 and the coolest. Cool cat for a cool cat. Enjoy. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's very, very neat, Mr. Anthony. It's something I have never had in a Thunder Egg was a pattern like that, nor any interior material as well. So that will absolutely be very loved. Miss Barbara says, oh, by the way, Mr. Anthony goes on to say, I scored the Cavensite and still by geode. Yep, that's who got that little grotto piece. Is Shawn sporting a beautiful saddle-style new ring? At first, it looked to be turquoise, but maybe Varisite, not sure. You won't hold still. Yeah, even my doctor calls me wacko. He's actually been only one, in 14 years, only one of 2 people outside the industry that I had given a private tour back when we did that. We don't do that anymore. Of the new studio here. So it's always good to keep your doctor happy. Yeah, because he, knows how demonstrative I am with my hands, and in the office I just can't sit still and everything. So he called me wacko one day. I said, "Is that the right kind of bedside manner you're supposed to have?" So. He's a great doctor, though. Dr. Morrison. So, is Shawn sporting a beautiful saddle-style ring, new ring? At first, it looked to be turquoise, but maybe Varisite. Can't really tell, won't hold still. Really nice, though. I'm assuming it is made by Shawn. Oh, boy, I tell you, Mr. Anthony, you know what you get when you assume. Wrong. I would like to say it was by me, but when we have a close shot coming up, later when I'm showing something, I'll show you the ring up close because it's Tibetan turquoise. And back, for those of you who've been around long enough, when I worked with another vendor in another show, we got in magnificent, the real stuff, Tibetan made items and using coral and turquoise and whatnot. But what was local and not fake or anything was true Tibetan turquoise. And that's what this is. And on the side, besides, I don't have my owl on today, but my other, I guess, and this might come from my heritage, but my mystic totem animal, I guess you would call it, is another word, but I can't think of it right now. The dragon, but not the European medieval style dragon with the wings, which was later on. The original dragon that protected the emperors. Dragons were considered good. They weren't anything evil. And those are the ones without the wings and a different number of toes depending on what level of dragon they were. I think it's the one with the 5 toes are the ones that were the only ones assigned to protect Kuan Yin. And then also the emperors as well. So, yeah, I'll show you that. All right, answers to the trivia. Magnesium, clinochlor, eyes down, says Mr. Anthony, because he, like I, know that's where you find the rocks. Unless you're looking for meteorites that are fresh out of the sky, then eyes up, and most likely you'll wind up with a hole right through you. And then your eyes will be back down if you have any left. Miss Barbara says, hi, Professor, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. Thanks to Miss Sarah for promptly posting the delay message, as Miss Gabby said. We immediately worry when things don't go as planned. I know, I actually, that morning, text her, and I don't think I finished hitting send before she had a text back to me saying, done, and because I know that a lot of you won't know or don't know until the morning of if it's going to post that day, depending on Shawn's illnesses. And so you check then, and that's why I did, and she was right on the ball. So I'll pass along the compliment. Really liked Anthony's nodule slice with the cat. A great example. Okay, you guys keep giving me like the Usambara effect, okay? Keep giving me these difficult words. Great example of pareidolia. And Miss Barbara, correct me if I got that wrong. Because I didn't even try to look up the word for pronunciation. Pareidolia, the human mind discerning familiar species in random patterns. Let me see, I stapled that, make sure that's right. Yeah. Like finding a cloud that looks like Mickey Mouse or the face of the man in the moon. Yeah, who of us haven't done that at any given age? And that was definitely a cat. And I think I told a story one time where there was an agate, and this is in the mid-'70s in the old Lapidary Journal. It made the cover of the Lapidary Journal. Back when the Lapidary Journal wasn't all so much jewelry, it was a lot more about lapidary. Anyway, a cutter had cut through a piece of agate, and wow, it was a perfect owl sitting on a branch with its talons. You couldn't have drawn an owl better than that. And even then, the value of it was, he had offers of upwards of $50,000, and it turned down. You're talking mid-70s, so they can be worse. So if you see, on the internet, your cat next week for sale there, Anthony, I do need more money. No, I treasure that, as you know I will. So Miss Barbara giving us another big word that we learned. Welcome, Charles. Always nice to have new blood participating in our Rock family dialogue. And Miss Barbara's big fancy words. And for anyone else out there just watching, come join the conversation. We're friendly. We don't bite, really. And you get to win free things, but you have to participate. And we say in the New York Lottery, you gotta be in it to win it. Couldn't resist the perfect Spanish pyrite cube because yours has the extra added attraction of a playful secret. Tee-hee, and I'm a wicked old gal. And I was figuring, since it's not quite a perfect cube, how many different ways you would have to turn that, because right now I have tape with an arrow going over and it says arrow pointing inwards to know which way that cube came out of its neat little resting spot. Because like I said, you could have a lot of fun party tricks with that after you put like some crazy price, like a label on it of $10,000, and then when the pyrite cube falls out of it from one of your friends handling it, and yeah, that's where faces are precious to reactions. But on that one, it was only like, see, 4 this way, and then flip it around and 4 back the way because it's a little bit rectangular. So not too many, but still, that's a lot of different attempts that you don't want to. So I actually learned and saw the way. So the arrow is more for now you, Barbara, to be able to tell to start with. But I can tell from the surface angle on the crystal face that which side and which one it is and how it goes in there. But yeah, that I think is a bonus that it actually does that, because there's a high likelihood that over time between heat expansion and moisture of that very, very clay-like marlstone, that it wouldn't fall out anyway. And that's why there's so many of them from that area that are loose, because they just come out of that marl. So to have it with the impression of it already loose, where you can like have a removable crystal, that's kind of a plus in my book, especially a big one like that. So enjoy, and glad to see you got that, because I like specimens that do things, that are reactive, just like an anhydro, where you move the bubble around kind of thing. All right, so welcome to Charles, and let's see, okay, couldn't resist the perfect Spanish pyrite cube. As to the trivia, magnesium is the element which makes the tourmaline dravite, not schorl, and clinochlor is the chlorite mineral associated with the Pakistani sphene specimen. Still waiting for a raven sighting. She's here. She's right back over there. She said she was going to make a grand entrance. This here, no. Coming up, because it's Halloween time, and she loves to, and she's got some great Halloween stuff. She has got incredible Halloween jewelry. I gave her a real neat skull that the mouth open and closed, so she has that on, but she has a beautiful 18 karat, and indicolite snake, and then she has 18 karat spider diamond earrings, but then she has a lot of the fun silver items in creepy crawlies as well, and I mean a lot. So yeah, we'll have to be showing some of those along the way. So we're gonna get her before you here very soon. She almost promised me. That was just, coming a long way with her. Oh, okay. When we cut to a close shot, she just gave me the really cool ring, especially that one, because it's one that I had something to do with. So I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, let's see. Raven sighting. It would be instructive if she could take us on a tour around her own pieces. Come on, take your light out from under the bushel basket. I love that. And you know what? I read that to her earlier, right before we came in. I read it to her actually in the parking lot. And she bushel basket. So I had to kind of explain that part. But we're going to get her out. Be well all, Miss Barbara from Brooklyn, New York. Miss Barbara again says, hi, just a quick further note to say that for the wonderful trivia prize, thank you for the wonderful trivia prize of the mosaic ovals and the double heart agate slab. I think the opals will make a lovely pair of men's cufflinks. That they would. The smoky, subtle color scheme will be perfect for masculine jewelry, and the agate, perfect for anyone who likes hearts, is another example of pareidolia. Looks lovely from both sides on display in its suspension box. Super. See, I got a little bit of that Brooklyn super. Miss Elisa says, hello, Professor Shawn, the lovely Raven GSN crew and Rock family. Welcome, Charles, to the family, and congratulations on the win. I know, first time out, first win, but that's the magic. Miss Cindy, I am glad that both your husband's surgery went well. I'm doing having a little fun. Miss Cindy, I'm glad that your husband's surgery went well. And Harry, happy to hear about your sister. Anthony, The slice of flame agate is beautiful. You are awesome. Shawn, what happened to bringing in your multimeter meter? Multimeter. Multivolt meter. I'm not complaining, just hoping to remind you for next week is all. My answers to this week's questions are magnesium and clinochlor. Have a great, safe weekend. Okay, I'll bring in, I have 4 of them, so I'll have to see which one I'll bring in. Bring in one that works best for what we're going to do. And yeah, we'll take a few minutes, and maybe that would be a good time also to get Raven and have her help me do that experiment. I think you guys will like it. It's all about piezoelectricity, and it's, you know, I tell you what, one person that knows some of that better than anyone, witnessing it personally, is awesome. Because, like I said, I brought it in, and well, one of them in. Well, it's probably been 3 years. If I say like something is a year ago, it means 2 years. Or if I say 2 years, it means 4 years. So anyway, and it stuck around for a couple of days and through some of the offices because everyone could actually measure their personal body's amount of electricity that we put off. And it makes a difference if you create cations or anions through, let's say, eating a lot of salt or something. There is and can be a different level of connectivity and electricity output. True story. Okay, so from Mr. Brad, dear Shawn, the Raven, Gem Shopping Network staff, and the whole family, plus Charles. Hey, Charles, welcome to the gang. Glad to have you aboard. Just a quick note to say hello to everyone and to pray that all are well. A good show as always. Shawn, my favorite letter from the show is S. S for scolecite in a sesame sort of way, which I think we all know about that. A is next on my shopping list, axonite. Oh, I've been hoping you wouldn't bring that one up. I'll tell you in a minute. My next favorite letter is U. I am dreaming about a uvarovite. This one back here. Maybe one the size that I imagine that the Raven has. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one you want. Stand in line, buddy. That one I get. She laughed. She just snickered back there. My birthstone, the only garnet I don't have one of any significance. Then, my next most favorite letter is T for trapeche. Oh, we love them. And if you would have seen our show a couple few, that now is 5.5 years ago plus. We used to sell a lot of trapeche pieces. Rough, cabs, loose, mounted, some really high end. Yeah, we liked our trapeches. And parcels. There were so many. We had parcels of trapeche that were very reasonably priced as well. Colombian, all Colombian trapeches. So, you know, I was actually thinking about reconnecting with my trapeche source. We'll see if I put that energy out into the universe and what I get back. Keep the goodies coming. I will probably put those items in my letter to Santa Claus. It's never too soon to start shopping for the holidays. Be well, Brad. And Brad, I have to agree with you. It is sooner the better time. Miss Peggy. Hello, Raven, Shawn, the amazing crew of Gem Shopping, and all my rock friends. First, I would like to order one of the handmade display cabinets. I knew I should have opened my mouth. The one you described sounded so cool with its color change lights. This week's show was great as always. The Indian scolecite was breathtaking. I wish I could be the one to get it and your ruby ring. And I'm kind of sorry you're selling it. Don't say that, I know. But I hope it brings joy to whoever ends up with it. Keep me in mind this Thursday. I am having surgery. I do hope it all goes well and recovery is swift. Well, today, this moment is Thursday, and so I know from those within my earshot will be thinking of you and keeping you in our prayers then, Miss Peggy. Hope it all goes well also. Trivia, magnesium. I hope this is the right kind this week. I don't want to miss out on the cool prizes. Okay, you got the magnesium, right? And then clinochlor. Happy welcome to our newest responder, Charles. We hope you are here every week. Please tell Harry that I am sending his sister all my love. and for positive energies for recovery. I also wish you every happiness, Shawn. You and your family really do deserve it. Remember, we all love to listen to you as you talk about rocks. We are always here for you. That's almost, what's the word? Clairvoyant, maybe? Because I just had some, which I never have had out of all the siblings, some head bumping with some of my siblings over, of all things, money. And anyway, that's why, you know, I'm doing everything I can, and you guys are helping me. And if I put something out there, don't think of my sentiments. I will have already thought much about the piece, like the ruby ring, and weighing everything. And obviously, there's a reason that I need to offer it to one of all of you. And by doing that, and by you, whoever takes advantage of the opportunity to get it, you'll invariably actually be doing me a favor. And meanwhile, getting a great piece of jewelry as well. So don't let it keep you from it. Okay, so after that almost tearjerker moment, Mr. Charles, find your joy, Peggy says, and you're right. You're right, Miss Peggy. I need to work on that. Mr. Charles says, ciao, Professor Shawn and GSN family. It is an honor to have won the trivia contest on my first entry. Yes, it is. Thank you very much. We do not have a pre-night specimen. See, there you go. A made in the USA specimen. That is the magic of the show. I mean, most everybody's got some type of pre-night, but not only to have a pre-night, but one from the United States. How special. This will be a perfect addition to our collection. Also, thank you for such a warm welcome to the family. I am a recluse, so it means a lot to join a group of like-minded people. You know, Charles, I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, the Raven doesn't believe when I tell her that I was an introvert and recluse growing up and all my life, because she sees this part of me. But I am only like this in this way because this is the world I'm most comfortable in and know the best and the most about. Put me, you know, I can talk about a lot of things if I want to in a social environment. But when I see that commercial come up for that social medication to take, you know, if you're antisocial, well, I'm thinking, man, I need a bottle of that stuff. Yeah, that never was for me. But put me around a group of my peers, talk about rocks or rock hunting, prospecting, whatever, and you can't shut me up. Or even international things, other countries. I like to talk about travel and places I've been if someone else has been to the same place as well. So, yep, but the Raven doesn't believe I was ever that person because, again, she sees this side of me, which is a comfortable side. So, Mr. Charles says, Shawn, could you please mention which 3 wavelengths of light you have installed in your display case? I still need to install lights in mine and would love some advice. Okay, so I put the round hockey puck lights that you can stream together, plug in together. They have 20-watt bulbs in them, work usually fine. I think they make them with the 50-watt, the little plug-in bulbs, you'll see them. They can get kind of warm, so I drill in the top of my cabinet, first the holes for the little hockey puck lights. I make those adjustable, and they're an incandescent, in the incandescent wavelength. Adjustable for brightness, but then also one of the best things you can do is drill additional holes in, especially if you have a closed top. So I make the holes only as big as the hockey pucks that go in there, so actually it's so no air escapes. I drill additional holes so that you get a movement of a draft through, so that heat doesn't build up in the top of the cabinet, and which can, depending on the specimens, dry them out, make little fine dust, and do other sometimes bad things. Heat can also alter specimens as well, but that's another story. So that's the one kind. Then the other kind I will use a traditional, and I put them in the corner, bar length. So depending on how much space, it makes it so easy because you can get whatever bar length you want and fluorescent lighting, and have one in each corner if you have a square or rectangular case. Then if you have a triangular case, or if you have a rectangular one, you can put them in the corners. If you have some like wooden corners, which one of mine is wooden corners and the rest is glass, it's a perfect place to hide a bulb like that. And I have that separately controlled to where I can mix or match any one of my lighting schemes. The third item I have, which works perfect for those dark areas in your case, is strip lighting. And I just use cable staples, or if you can use a staple gun if you have got a powerful or electric staple gun, and you can just tack the strip lighting up, and I hide mine along all the edges and the rims of the cabinet, and then since those plug in, you have a lot of control as to where you can take them, so to speak. So those are the three, and then of course it's very easy to use a UV bulb if you want to create just like the top shelf switch over or something like that to ultraviolet. But yeah, for the three, that's what I like to use. All right, so he goes on to say, sincerely Charles, then favorite specimens, the Army green quartz cluster and the scolecite. Question 1, magnesium. Question 2, I don't know, with a sad face. The answer didn't make it into my notes. I remember you talking about garnet during that segment of the program, so I'm going to guess garnet, fingers crossed. You know what? You might as well throw it out there, Charles, and see if it sticks, because it counts just as good as a win. But now you know the actual answer, and is not garnet. But we also didn't really talk about it in the show, so you just started watching, and it's not something you would have known right offhand. But clinochlor, of course, being the correct answer. And all right, I think that covers everyone. And so multiple winners out there. Threw them in a hat, and out pops the name of Miss Peggy. Let's show you what we won. Miss Peggy, this is the only parcel actually that we have had, and it was a batch I've had for a while in my collector tray. And they were in my tray of where I collect stones that have optical properties, so cat's eyes or stars and whatnot. And you can see this is some nice Madagascan labradorite, and you have also some moonstones, and you can see some nice color in the moonstones as well. So only one parcel, and it goes only to the winner of the free item. Oh, this one, let me show you that one. And look at that. That is a gorgeous gray moonstone as well. Congratulations, Miss Peggy. We're going to tuck these away and then get started. All right, this is the way to segue to an item for sale that you just talked about, dravite tourmaline. Now, last week's show, you probably should remember that you saw several different dravite options and dravite crystal. The mine that they're from, the Pierpont Farm mine, it's like this hill of nothing. I can't imagine owning that. And I get excited about that little soil deposit I tell you that we go by once a year, as a few items erode out along the way in the right of way of a road. Well, can you imagine having the farm where the whole hill is pretty much anywhere areas you dig, you can hit incredible, not shoral tourmaline, but incredible dravite tourmaline. Now, this absolutely looks like shoral by way of opacity and not by way of the crystal formation, though it certainly looks different in that respect. But also, compared to other dravites, this is black. It's not like a lot of the coffee dravites that are actually, a yellowish brown. Some are quite attractive. A lot are facet quality. This material is pretty much just opaque, but does have some, what it is really known throughout the world for tourmalines, where it gets its claim to fame are these mirror, let me just grab one. Here we go. Look at this. Let me get my little towel. The mirrored faces to the crystal. Look at that. I mean, that is just like it's been polished almost, and just very sharp. And if you were ever looking for material, which I always was, for backing in a doublet, you know, black spinel has always worked really well. Well, this would work well also because it has that nice black finish and is a hard material. Okay, so this I only have one of. It's the set of all four, and this falls under the sale price of items, making it a, it actually has, let me show you. They're a little rough for the wear, but you get them nonetheless. 4 boxes, one for each one that goes along with it, has the name of the farm that they're found in. Yep, why not? $15. 15 takes all 4. That's a deal. Now, while we have that set up there, let me just show you right here. Here is the, look at this. I made this for the Raven. And look, isn't that cool? Yeah, no, this is why it's more cool. She thought that was really neat, but when it did that, and you see it's basically a simple kind of function to it, but when I put those absolutely some of the best quality, look at the diamond cut sapphire eyes of a really high quality Madagascan material, and then that. So this is just one of our many, and you're going to get to see them along the way into Halloween. The Raven's large stock of Halloween jewelry. Too bad I am not for sale, as Shawn needs mo money. All right, $15 for those Dravites. Only parcel I have available. Okay, the next item to showing you is also one that at the time I had a lot. Now I have very little left. Item number 997521. And this was a batch that when I got these, I was really tickled and really thrilled. Look at that. Look at that. Vanadinite on barite, and from the well-known deposits in Morocco. Look at that. Look at those crystals. And then here is your barite. So your pinkish, there's your barite as well. And barite, you wouldn't think so, but it's a very heavy mineral. So even a little piece like this, it has weight to it. But look at how sharp these crystals are. Now, there's another little goodie here. What are these white crystals on there? I'm kind of curious. Let me see if any other notes here says, because I spend so much time, of course, so barite is a lead vanadate, so lead, vanadium, and chlorine. This is from the well-known CUDA workings. And these little white crystals, I would have to say calcites. Calcites. I'll look in a minute, but that's really cool. That's really cool that it includes those. And then you also have this smaller material, sparkling material. See this all through there, which could be just some druzy quartz, but beautiful. Beautiful nonetheless. Okay, so that's a neat piece. It displays a lot of different ways, and I have it at a really affordable sale price opportunity, making this guy only, and I can't believe it, I'm offering it for this, but $21. Only $21 on that one. And that one is a really good opportunity. And let me show you. It will. Well, I don't know. Maybe in maybe in shipping they'll do it differently. But this is one of those pieces that, remember I talked about how we would get them, and they would be all lined up in a row in a flat, and you wouldn't be able to see them because they would individually wrap these. Some you could catch part of it, but they would take this toilet paper, and I remember me telling you in Thailand how the public toilets, you would have someone stand outside and you had to buy the toilet paper that you thought you needed for your time in the bathroom, because if not, the people would actually steal the toilet paper and they could never keep it in there. So you actually, and they sold it by the sheet, the little tiny square. Yeah, you had, so anyway, it's funny because they placed such a high value on the toilet paper, not by way of cost, but I mean by way of importance, that every time I see this, I think, and see the toilet paper, I'm thinking, wow, how much could I get for that toilet paper standing outside a, well, and they're Asian toilets, so, you know, they're just holes in the ground. But, so anyway, I just told the story again, because, again, that's all I think of when I see it. And so you can leave them like this. That way they don't bump into each other when they do these in the flat. And this is also for your own education if and when you move. Some of the best ways to be able to wrap specimens is exactly using the technique that the people that do it and know it the most. And that's the miner. So they wrap it like this. Now, alternately then, you can stop there, but you can then alternately, using the same extended piece without any break in it. Do you see how I'm doing this? And believe me, this is not the good stuff for toilet paper, but boom, there you go. And now I just made an origami snapping turtle. Huh? How about that? Dave, you impressed? Okay. Aren't we having fun now? Next item, 7. Ooh, this is auspicious, and someone needs to get this. 788818. You know, of course, we have lucky 7s here in the United States, and that's in North America, and that's the numbers we consider lucky. Well, that's not the same thing at all in Asia. Lucky number 8. So a number like that, you would be assured that there would be somebody that would buy it if you were selling that into that type of market. All right, check this out. Look at that. That is a monster size Pakistani zircon. Now, remember, that's one of the Pakistani 4, as I think Miss Barbara coined the term. And that is the 4 different minerals that I bought quantity of, flats of, or in by way of kilos. So we had the red zircons, we had the pink apatites, we had the sphenes, and we had the triplite. And 4 amazing deals that I was so thrilled to be able to get them. And so this, if you don't have one of these as they come up and are available, because I'm running low, then you need to make sure you get it when you see them. Now this black biotite mica, if you don't have biotite mica, this is a good example of how often and how it would look to find it in another specimen. So it's a good identification tool for biotite mica. You also, what's so fun about this, now let me show you. You can see along the line here that there has been some specimen preparation. In other words, some of the material has been peeled back, which is fine. I'm just showing what to look for, and you can see that fresh kind of whiteness, which can be actually cleaned up and that hidden as well. Now, this guy, look at all these. If you take this to the closet and get out your ultraviolet light, you'll be able to find all the little zircons and big ones on it, because it fluoresces very strongly in most cases. And in shortwave, a beautiful, beautiful yellow fluorescence. So not only will that, but then you'll find the other little red crystals dotted all around in this. But that's a really large, beautiful face to this crystal. Sale price on this piece is why someone really has to take advantage of it. $32. $32. Not only would that specimen be very difficult to find in any market or sale, show, but if you did find it, the price would be multiples of that. It's only, remember how I bought it, and remember also, I have that incredible, and I haven't worked with him in a while, but still, once you're friends, you're always friends, of Havis. And he really fixed us up before. He actually has offered Austin and I to take us to the mines back when things were calmer than they are now. But yeah, talk about, so it goes, from the miner to him to you guys, only passing through here. So that, normally there's 2 or 3 more layers of markup, but not in this case. All right, let me clean up that turntable a bit. I'll be right back. All right, this is a real beauty, and there's so much to talk about, but what's really going for this is the fact that the malachite has not taken over the azurite and created a pseudomorph as can happen so easily. Oh, by the way, since we're already right here looking at it, let me show you. Tibetan turquoise, and here is the really cool classic Asian dragon, solid underside. And you can tell that it is a natural turquoise, which means a whole lot to me, as opposed to, well, you've seen me show you fake turquoise demonstrations with blocks of it. All right, so look at this. Look at this. Look at these crystals of azurite. This is, most of the time you find druzy. Most of the time, especially at the way I'm going to price this, you would only get a specimen of druzy azurite. Look at these pockets. Look at back in there. I mean, that is a incredible crystal. Look at back along in here. Now, remember, with copper minerals, it's really easy to end up and find other minerals that are copper oriented and in the piece. For example, chrysocolla. Chrysocolla would be one that I've seen associated with these. Okay, now, as we go around this, you can see the wonderful contrast. The green in person is a brighter green than you're seeing here, but those colors are always difficult to pull out. But look at this. Look at this. Wow. Look at that. So it really, you realize that with a little bit of additional specimen preparation, you can pull all this material back and away from it. In other words, clean this off and reveal more of the azurites, if you're inclined to. But certainly this is beautiful the way it is. Look at the color of that. That looks like a fine Burmese sapphire kind of color. And Dave, can you take us a little bit in there at all? There we go. Look at that. Look at that. What a wonderful crystal.
Shipping and handling things.
And then down in that vug. How beautiful. How beautiful. This specimen is worth so much more. I can't believe that someone hasn't. Look at that. Look at those two over there taking advantage of this. Because you know what? Price on this one. Okay, when you have the price and then you have, hey, double F next to it, that means The final price, kind of silly because it's ridiculous. It's only $32. Anything less than that, I'll keep it before I sell it for less than that. $32 on that one. If I had more than the one, I'd sell it to you, but you know what? That's the only one we have. So that is a $32 item that you only have the one chance to get. Now, sticking with the theme of azurite and malachite, let me show you what I referenced. Item number 107-1822. 107-1822. When I said it's, well, I tell you what, right before let me show you first this, and then you'll know everything about malachite. All right, check this out. Look at the colors. Look at this. All right. And the size, you get a feel for the size of it. All right. Obviously, and what you're seeing is true in the greens. The green fibrous malachite is a lot brighter than the malachite on that piece. And of course, the one was Moroccan, and what you're looking at here is from the Congo. And it is really quite rare. It is what we call fibrous malachite. And when you look at this, it kind of looks like that micro suede that furniture is made out of, that, you know, you rub your hand along it and it's kind of one color. Look at that, how that is. But what it actually is crystals, really fine crystals, and you can see them like right there in that radio fan spray of how they look by way of crystals. You know, what is that word that we learned today that I already forgot? Paleo. I don't know. Look at even me. Look at it. I see ears. Look at this. Here is the mouth. Here's a beak maybe, or eyes. Here's a shoulder. That's, yeah, okay, see, so I'm doing whatever it is, I'm anthropomorphizing, that's my term. Or this one, this looks like it could be, okay, so you can have fun with your malachite that way. Look at this, look at that. I mean, this is all the way around, Beautiful example of fibrous malachite. And this material is really expensive and getting harder and harder to find, and price just keeps going up. I have an old price on this, and it's a sale price of only $64. $64. And that gets it as a final price. Not gonna be ever less than that. Look at this, it self-displays. I mean, which way do you want it to look beautiful? That way, as a, look at that. That will get a lot of attention, even from people that are not rock hounds, because it does something. The way the light moves across the crystals when you move it, it gets people's attention. And it certainly is a wonderfully rare type of formation to have in a specimen. You just don't see fibrous anything like that. So grab that one while you can. Now, let me show you what I referenced, 102-5621. 102-5621. When I said about the first specimen, about the malachite swallowing azurite, which it is well known to do, called a pseudomorph. And this is what you have in this piece. Malachite doesn't form crystals in the same crystal structure as azurite forms. And if you can recall seeing that azurite a moment ago, the very angular type of crystals and look to it. Malachite, no, doesn't do that at all. Just like azurite doesn't form fibrous azurite crystals. But what ends up happening is, let me get my pointer. Malachite will replace azurite a molecule at a time or whatever rate it can, and the azurite is dissolved away, and as the azurite dissolves away, the malachite replaces it within the same form, the same shape. So you have crystals of malachite that look like they should be crystals of azurite because they once were. Like, look at this one right here is standing out to me. Look at that face on that. Look at the face on that one. You just don't see malachite with crystal faces like that. Look at these. This has some really, really nice, very well-defined pseudomorphed azurite crystals, again, that are malachite. So this entire structure would have been azurite at one time. And it is Namibian material. And so when you see this in person also, you your eyes can focus on all the depths of field of view at the same time. So the crystals, look at this, really stand out well. You can see, look at that sharp angular formation right there. That is really beautiful. And there's a lot of crystals here that really show up really strongly in, well, you're seeing them now, but in person even more so. Look at this, they're just everywhere. And then additional extra goodies. Look at this, goethite. Look at, can we come in here closer? Look at, this is botryoidal. Isn't that neat? Botryoidal formations. So it's just not goethite splattered across like limonite often looks like. You actually have some really nice formations of it. And again, a very, very well-defined pseudomorphs on the back as well. And then probably some extra goodies if you look closely. Some of this material can have cerussite, which is a lead carbonate. Okay, now, I had made an incredible buy on these a number of years ago, and I was quite surprised. I guess I was hoarding them to myself. Look at these. Look at how beautiful these are. When really I could have shared a few more than I have. But I don't think everyone appreciates exactly what the pseudomorph is. It is really rare. And there's very few of any type of pseudomorph that anyone can afford. There are some replacements that are just extremely rare. Everything has to happen just right for it to occur. So this is one of the ones that is affordable, but still difficult to get, and then to have it double-sided and to have all the other features to it. That's a great piece. That's a great piece. And when I tell you the price, think of a price in your mind for something as rare as that, what it should be. So that when I tell you what I'm offering this for, you'll realize it and take advantage of it. Plus, it also is an educational tool, so you can look at it and learn from it and compare to see if any future items you may get in or have could be pseudomorphs as well, compared to it actually being something. In other words, if you have a certain crystal system of something and you think, well, that just doesn't match up, could it be that it is a pseudomorph of something else? And start doing your homework from there. This is always a great way to be able to see what they can look like to start with and how well they are replaced at what you end up with. Price on this, sale price, especially when you have a certain price in mind, and I tell you that it is only $34. That I am sure is less than the price that you just thought it was. Now, let me show you. For those that missed out last week on the featuring this, check this out. This is Anthony's cat that he had sawed off. You can see there's the backside off of a thunder egg, and donated it to the show. Look at how well defined that is. And you know what I have to live with is before the show, I have to listen to Raven and Dave talk about his cat. And on the way driving, she had to talk about what little toy she got his cat. Yeah. All right, one more thing. Let me just show you what I was talking about by that flame agate. Right here is what looks exactly like moss agate, where it is the green chlorite in a silica. Well, what you have is basically a reddish chlorite, which would be most likely a iron oxide stained chlorite. And but I hadn't seen any flame agate in a long time, so that's really unique and quite rare to have. And I will really appreciate enjoying that, Mr. Anthony. All right, look at that for just one moment while I get the next specimen going here. And I tell you what, I've got to get something unwrapped. So while I do that, you all just run, get yourself something to drink. I'll be right back. All right, so speaking about that funny word that, well, we could certainly use it in reference to this particular piece because it is obvious it has some of that, well, some of that pattern that looks like an animal, pareidolia. I'll probably say it different every time. Pareidolia, because look at this. Doesn't that look like a nose? There's eye, there's a little like parted hair, there's a tail, feet, almost like a little bow on that. But what you're looking at is Tasmanian serpentine. Beautiful green serpentine here, so you recognize serpentine, you know the color of that. And stichtite. Stichtite is really a, well, put it this way, Tasmania. If you're not familiar with Tasmania, there is such a thing as the Tasmanian devil. It is, you know, Australia, which I've been to. It is one of the territories of Australia, and it is an island territory off of the southern part of Australia. In other words, the part closer to Antarctica. And also on Tasmania is probably my most favorite animal, because I think God just put everything together and threw it up against the wall and see what was sticking out. Came a platypus with a single poison toe, a duckbill, just, you know, lives in the stream, just a, you know, lays eggs, really amazing creature. So wouldn't that be interesting if this was a duckbill platypus? I just got to thinking. All right, so Tasmania, really the Tasmanian devil, the actual Tasmanian devil, the one that looks with the stripes, they say it went extinct in the 1930s, but I want to believe it's still alive, and that there's been some sightings that potentially may still be around. And then the little Tasmanian marsupial kind of critter, they're mean little boogers. But anyway, this piece with the stichtite, it has magnesium. See, we were talking about magnesium. And then it also has chromium. So magnesium and chromium helping to give it some of its unusual colors. It's soft. It was named after Robert Sticht, who was the general manager of the Lyle Mining and Rail of Tasmania. Now, this also has some chromite, which of course is a chromium ore, and that is these darker areas in the piece. All right, so sterling silver And this was Raven's ring. She enjoyed wearing that for a while. And when we pointed out just a few moments ago that the animal in it, of course, she's such an animal nut, she said, I want my ring back. I said, no, too bad. Price on this, I am going to sale price it, and you're going to love it because, of course, it can be sized, and only one like it. Let's make it only $48. How about that? $48. And the stick tight and the serpentine, two fantastic stones together. I think that color combination is really unique, and especially in the stick tight itself. Okay, so let me get going here. Let's look at item number. Next is item number 107 2222. 107 2222. And look at this. Now, we saw, and I asked Raven to make sure this wasn't the other bookend half to the piece we just featured last week. But now that I'm thinking about it, I see that this is appears to be bigger. Oh, natural Missouri chalcopyrite and dolomite. Now, remember, chalcopyrite from your pyrite. All you have to do is not see any isometric cubes or triangular portions. And when we come in closer on this, you can see that this is some really well-formed chalcopyrite crystals and all natural oxidation, including the purples and some of the blues and whatnot, which sets it apart from others that can be treated and heated and the color imparted that way. But I love the natural color ones. Okay, so anytime you see triangles, which once you start noticing them, you see them. Tetragonal crystal system it belongs with, and that will invariably give you triangular shaped crystals, as you can see, like right there. 1, 2, 3. So there you go. That's how you, and then dolomite. Dolomite. You can see it has nice, large, well-defined dolomite crystals. Always a chance of calcite being thrown in there, but these are definitely dolomite. And then look at this as we round the corner, and let's go back into the cave. You can see that that actually goes all the way through. So you could put a neat little light bulb unit in there and create some kind of neat little creation. And then as we spin this around, you can see wonderful just quartzite, crystallized quartzite. You have, oh, look at this, a neat little pocket of additional crystallization, and around to the other side. So with the two flat sides cut, you can turn it two different ways. You see how you can use it for a very sturdy bookend either way. Chalcopyrite from the Made in the USA collection, and a incredible opportunity pricing on this piece. So let's sale price it on top of that, and why not? Let's do this. Let's make it, price it to really move, and that would be, oh, I don't know. My goodness, look how beautiful that is. They actually ask a lot of money for these kind of things, but that's not Shawn. Make it only $54. $54 on that one. Okay, now let me run through a few stones really quickly here, and let's start with item 105 3722. Now, I see that I either didn't show any of these or very little interest from everybody in them, so that must mean that I have to get my heart right. Price them. Now, how can I make these less than what I already did? That's what's kind of silly. But if we can do it, we'll do it. Look at this guy. These are all natural. Look at this. So you have your Indian star ruby, and look at the way they cut these. You know, they cut them for weight and whatnot, but wonderful stars nonetheless with rutile, titanium dioxide. We talked about rutile the other day as in relationship to being a polymorph of brookite, but rutile creating these stars in corundum, ruby and sapphire. So that's why if you heat treat them, you can actually melt the rutile back into the stone, and then you won't have a star. All right, price on this. Here we go. Let's do some crazy stuff. 4 carat. How about $16, $4 a carat. I am, all right, let's go to the next. Doing a big time discount. 105, 41.22. 105, 41.22. Yeah, $16 on that one. All right, this one, what do we have here? Let's take a look. Okay, so just to give you an idea, look at the difference in, so you can realize and recognize the difference in colors. So you have one that is a lot more red. There we go. You can see the next to, see that? There. Next to one that is a lot more purple. And that's why even the red ones, people can call them rubies, but I don't know. They can all be sapphires. Look at that star. Now that is not a bad stone, especially coming from this area. That's what you look for, by the way, in a crystal. See that sertoriancy coming across there? I've talked about that before. Now that's a worthy stone. Yeah, that looks like something. And so at 7.50 carat, well, we did the other one, what, $4 a carat. That was, so if this one 4 carat would make that make it $29. Can't do $29. That's a big stone. Next item, 105, 40.22. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see what this one brings us. And, gonna be very, what a great color. Look at that. Wow, wow. Nice, look at the clarity on the surface of the stone. Nice polish on that. And yeah, definitely. Okay, so here is a 2.28 carat. Okay, wow. All right, if we stick with what but the clarity on the quality of that, it should definitely be more per carat. But you know what? I can't add or subtract well, so let's just say I got it wrong and call it only 10 bucks. $10 on that one. Next item. Yeah, let's move some of these. 105, 36.22. 105, 36.22. And oh boy. All right, let's compare colors for a moment. There we go. Yep, we still have one. This one on the left, a little bit more purple to it. And, you know, for natural color and the time and ever, boy, there's a deal. Look at that. Look at that. Well-defined star. Relatively clean, especially when you're looking at it from above, along the sides. Not quite as important a lot of times because of the way you would set that stone. And how about a super duper discount? See this? Okay, 3 point. Let's do some of that crummy math I do again, and make this one. Oh yeah, $14. $14, and that's a wow price. And the last one of this group is going to be 105, 42.22. 105, 42.22. And let's see what this gets us. All right, let's swap those out there. Look at that. Nice stone there. Ooh, I just saw some incredible reds through that piece. All right, now, this, wow. You know, I wonder if they ever just, in these deposits, which is like Mysore and whatnot, if they ever really come across just a stunning one by chance. This, look at this. This is actually quite a clean ruby from that area. Quite a, look at that. Yeah, that's quite a nice stone. All right, so I like the high domes like that too, actually. They set really well. They look really cool. 4.88 carat. It should be $10, you know, it should be a $48 stone, but no, let's go ahead and apply crummy math to it again and make this one $17. $17. And just to hold it in my fingers for a moment, give you an idea what they all look like. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, that's a nice stone. That's a nice stone. So, okay, now getting in on another quick item here, since we have a multiple of it, and these are the last I have of them. It is item number 1070722. Now, these are the last I have of the shark's teeth, and these are great for stocking stuffers, if for children, grandchildren type of situation. And they have genuine, look at this, shark teeth, Moroccan shark teeth, the mackerel sharks and other species, plus also you might find some other little fossil pieces and whatnot in here. Definitely fun to go through and pick out and organize and put in the case. You can entertain a child with something cool. Easy to drill if you ever want to drill and make a pendant. Like, look at, there's a complete whole tooth of a mackerel shark right there. Like I said, look at this, there's another one. So they're mixed, some have little edges off of them, but that's where the child has fun in messing around with them, or maybe finding other pieces that belong to them and can be glued back together. So kind of like a barrel of monkeys. It can entertain them for a long enough for you to maybe get a nap in or something. All right, they were only $12. A sale means I have to take something off. Don't really have any room. Let's make them $11 though. $11 each. And, you know, once they're gone, they're gone. So, you know, even if you don't need them right now, so, you know, or maybe you have a friend that you think, wow, this would make a great gift for their grandchild or something. Pick one of them up. It's just something not common. Now, I tell you where I would like to do a little bit of shark tooth hunting right now. Just saying, you know, that after a hurricane, it really turns over some amazing, amazing goods and material in those areas. And everything from doing metal detecting to shark tooth hunting would be greatly improved where Ian came through Florida. Item number 1074322. 1074322. And let's take a look. Look at this. Okay, now we'll move those. All right. This cool item looks a lot like the chlorite in quartz, doesn't it? It does, but it's epidote. It's epidote. Moroccan epidote. And then, wow, look at that. And often on these specimens, there's other items you can find. I have found zircon, little zircon crystals on them. I think I've shown you some of those before. These could easily be cleaned up, you know, as something fun to do. And sale price on this one, let's go ahead and mark it way down to $16. Yep. Not kidding you, only $16 on that one. Now, let me show you item number 1077622. And look at this, a geode. And I can't believe, since I had featured this already, that I thought for certain it would not be available and it would be sold. Look at that amazing calcite crystal in the back. And look at, you can see the wonderful shape to it. The kind of hexagonal pattern. Look at that coming around there, beautiful. That is really attractive. Now I say calcite, right back there actually looks a little bit like selenite, but then I see some calcite around there. This is neat because you have multiple other minerals I'm seeing here. And smoky quartz. So the price, it was only $12 to have that really neat calcite. Look at that, and it's not been sawn through. It's been naturally cracked, which I kind of like that natural look to it. Okay, that's fine. We're going to sale price it anyway. Here we go. $9. $9. You could crack a lot of geodes before you ever found one that with those kind of formations of calcite in it. So quite attractive. I can't believe I still have that Spencer opal piece. I thought for certain there would be a collector out there that would scoop up on that one, but letting you know it is still available. Here's a parcel of citrine. Item number one. No. You guys didn't want that one. Let me set that aside in the moments I have with you. Here we go. Of course, this is one of the best items that I shouldn't part with, but item 106 2522. 106 2522. And, you know, oh, hold on. That's not the right item number. Uh-oh. What did the Raven do to me there? Wrong item in the wrong bag, that famous old thing. Okay. No, I didn't say old bag. I said wrong item in the bag. Okay, so you can tell she's not here at the moment, so I'm getting away with that. I have some other fun items out here. Anyway, let's look at item number 105 9022. 105 9022. Yeah, you'll have to get in on that chrysoprase, unless I change my mind. Next time around, you know, that huge piece of chrysoprase, well, I can't believe someone didn't take advantage of it. Like Mr. Anthony, what great cutting material. All right, look at this. Look at these matching natural color Mexican topaz. This is where Andy can appreciate it because we know how long it would take to cut two topaz stones like that. And besides getting the rough to do it, so you can see they are nice emerald cuts. I love emerald cuts. And they have just a little bit of a champagne color tone to them. Anyway, both of the stones, how's this grab you? You know, and I think about the time, both of them, $16. That's $8 a stone. The time it takes to cut those, it would be a really long time. But that's where, that's the difference in, you know, overseas or foreign cutting and otherwise. By the way, in case you were wondering, that silver ring was a size 7 that had that stick tight in it. All right, we only have a moment with you, left with you. And with that moment, let me see what I can't grab for you real quick. I have, you know, that North Carolina emerald, or the Bitonite. Here's one of the best values. Here, okay, I tumbled these myself, and I'm going to give you one more chance at them. 965520. 965520. Okay, now this Bitonite is a type of plagioclase feldspar, and it is named after the original town that's now called Ottawa. And it is a feldspar with a similar formula, ending formula of aluminum, silicate, and oxygen. And the first, it's called a calcic plagioclase. So calcic meaning calcite. So calcium and sodium, then aluminum, silicon, and oxygen is what makes it up. I had 6 of these. Bitonite contains around 70% anorthite. So anorthite is another type of feldspar. Anorthite, if you hadn't heard of that one before. So plagioclase feldspar is also the type of feldspar that labradorite is. Look at these. These are facet grade quality. So I only have 3 of these left. They are from Chihuahua. Mexico, the Dorado mine. So I know exactly where they're from. And look at that, facet grade, beautiful material to work with. And like I said, I got to have the fun, had the rough and tumbled it. And when I got it, it was literally in one of the old wash tubs, and it was as rough, and it was, you could buy it, either pick it, the pieces, or buy it by the scoop. And there was a metal scoop, and you literally scooped it into a bag, so that way it was random what you got, and you couldn't pick just the better quality. So it was two different prices, kind of interesting way to sell, but it certainly worked. Price on these, sale, why not? That is a crazy to have 100 carats of finished tumbled material, and we're offering the last three per bag, $22 each. Only $22 each on those. Crazy, silly opportunity for you. Okay, we're going to be down to a last item of the show. And that one's got, no, we better not show that one. That one takes a Geiger counter, if you know what that means. And let me see, I should just do a random grab. This is a good one. All right, last item of the show, 107-5522. 107-5522. Let me tell you about something that is getting more and more difficult to find, and I think that would be understandable. We have, and besides being just some beautiful color material, this is what makes up the blue in lapis lazuli. This is lazurite, except this is natural crystals of lazurite, and from Afghanistan. Now it's from also the same place. If you are a ultraviolet mineral collector, you have to have this. See the additional information? You have long wave yellow, short wave orange. You have mariolite in this specimen as well. Mariolite, part of the scapolite family, which you've heard of. Look at how big these crystals are. So yeah, so this is a fantastic specimen. Look at that. You also have little mineralization of pyrites in there. Pyrites in there, and there's calcite as well. Oh yeah, I remember doing this one. See the orange color to this material? As you flip from long wave to short wave, this will completely change color. Orange to yellow, orange to yellow. It is so cool. And then look at these well-defined crystals of lazurite. This is truly a rare collector specimen. Last item of the show. And I am going to put a really nice discount opportunity on this. And it's actually quite collectible for what this is. And wow, take advantage of it. All right, here we go. Ready, set? It was $98. Here is a giveaway deal. How about this? $64. Only $64. Last item of the show. We'll be right back with the trivia questions. All right, well, Charles, you should be getting in the groove of how this is done, and everyone else, it is time for trivia. Now, trivia questions usually are derived from something from the show, also can be from past shows, or from something we referenced, discussed, or talked about. I have two questions for you. Question number one, what mineral creates the star in corundum? Corundum being ruby and sapphire. So what other mineral has to be present to create the star in ruby and sapphire? Question number two. When a mineral replaces another, it is called a what? So when a mineral replaces another mineral, it is called a blank of that mineral. What is that term? Okay, made it easy for everyone on those two questions. I have been working on some good stuff for you, and so hopefully you're getting your piggy banks in order. And but you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be expensive for it to be something really cool and good stuff. But there may be some of both. And I hope you are wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, and have that, you know, gem shopping on speed dial. I so enjoy all of you and all your support. I've been, for the first time in my life, been bumping heads with some of the family members over money, sadly enough. But you know what I told Raven when I was in kind of my just really sad about the whole thing. I told Raven, it's like, if it were not for you, all of you out there, my family, and you know, blood is supposed to be thicker than anything, but I tell you what, sometimes that gem and mineral rockhound hobby family, I think sometimes that blood can run truer, stronger, more durable, longer lasting, and not easily coerced into becoming something else. So anyway, I so thank you for all that support, and for so many of you for many, many, many years. And so let's keep up our prayers and good wishes for each and every one of us, for those of us that need healing, that we continue to heal. And every week, I just look so forward to coming back and being with all of you the very next week and reading your comments. And Charles, it's okay to throw a few extra compliments my way if your heart so feels like it. All right. God bless. Take care. And can't wait till next Monday. See you then. Cheers.